Hi everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to another YouTube video on the channel. And today guys, here we are to continue my Adelaide Crows My Coach career mode. Now in today's episode, we're going to be playing West Coast, the West Coast Eagles in Perth at Optus Stadium, which is our second visit since round 3 of course, where we played Fremantle at Optus Stadium, and we are heading back there this round to play West Coast. And we have a pretty good rivalry with them brewing up right now. But of course, before we start this week's episode, if you haven't gone ahead and checked out last week's episode, please go ahead and do so now, because I'm about to spoil it here. But oh man, mouth-watering matchup coming up today versus West Coast. Last week, sadly, we did fall and we lost to Brisbane in our first loss of the year to, of course, end our prime time stint. They mashed us everywhere. It was a deadlock for most of the game. It was a really exciting game, which of course ended our prime time run of things. But oh man, what a good prime time run it was. And 3-1 from the first 4 games is always impressive. But we have the chance to go 4-1 or 3-2 today. 3-2 will end up sliding us right back to the rest of the competition. And then next week we've got the Dogs. So 2 tough weeks coming up here against some pretty decent opponents, and then the Giants on Friday night, footy round number 7. So big next few weeks coming up ahead of us. Career history 75% exactly. But the big thing is though is that West Coast, we have a pretty good rivalry with them. We've drawn 2 or 3 times with them now, and we've had some really close games. We never led, kicked after the siren. We made a biggest choke against them as well. So there's been a lot of history and a lot of different games between these two sides, and of course the capabilities. It could be another draw today, but wow, what a rivalry it is between the Crows and the Eagles. 3 dribble kicks, 4 bounces, 36 handballs, but should be a ripping game of footy between the first place West Coast. We are 3rd on the ladder, so all I can tell you right now is that you are guaranteed for a good game of footy right here, so make sure to hang around and watch the entire video. So of course we've had a couple of emails. So Brizzy, we don't need that. The underperforming players were Jackson, Dacos and Salem. Now there's been a fair bit of unsettlement around that back line this year, so that's probably something we need to address a bit more in the trade period, rather than to go and get all the key forwards that we really went and got. So I think that we probably did forget about the defenders in the trade period, but that one is on me that time. Duday's back, Cook is also back. And then West Coast have won 4 games. Jeremy McGovern is in red hot form. So this week is a big one. This is a big week. But before we go ahead, hop into things. We didn't do this last week, the injury and tribunal thing. Yeah, we've got no injured players. Meanwhile, West Coast, Gaff, Darling and Hutchings. I've got no idea why Hutchings is on this list. I got no idea why he's on the list, but anyway, he won't be playing, so it doesn't really matter anyway. But these lists were done a long time ago in tribunal. We've got no one in Ainsworth, and T Parker are both out for West. Oh, because of the trade and draft, that's why. And this would have been done a long time ago, these lists. But anyway, time for team selection this weekend. I think Rosie's going to stay. I think he's just done enough to hold his spot. King, he's been great all year. Rochelle, Jason Horn was really good last week, so I'm happy to keep him in. Fogarty, he's the favourite for the Coleman medal. Max King, there's been a few debates over him, so I'm going to see with him. The midfield, it's in red hot form. We've got some great midfielders. The back line, it hasn't been its best, but it's gone okay. Dacos, Cook, DeConing, Rowe. I'm going to keep him in the team, but yep, I think this week King did nothing last week, so he's going to go out the side. And coming in this week is going to be Andrew Brayshaw. He's going to come back in this week to play up against his former Derby side in West Coast, so we're going to let him play. He's been in and out. Farrell is another one that can be looked at, as can Ginnivan or DeConing, if we need defensive stocks. DeConing obviously. King, he's going to be out this week. Rourke Smith, he could pretty much play anywhere on the ground, and then Todd Marshall as well, which probably could have been a straight swap. But look, I'm liking the likes of King and Fogarty here. I'm hoping though that we're not going. Nah, you know what? I'm going to bring Marshall back in, actually. Todd Marshall can play. Todd Marshall can play this round. I've seen a couple of comments saying that Marshall should come back in. He'll come back in. But look, oh man, this game could go really either way. Hopefully not a jumper clash here. Shouldn't be. But wow. what a game of footy we have coming up. So of course, pre-game prediction, West Coast versus Adelaide. This is a real top 4 mouth waterer. Of course, if the Eagles win, they go 5-0, which is going to be really big for their season. If we win, we can go 4-1, and then we can have a look at knocking them off if we get enough percentage. But my pre-game prediction, I'm going to predict that, I could really go cheesy and say a draw, but nah. We want to make things interesting. I'm going to say the Crows to do it by 2 points. Bit of a different margin. The Crows by 2. Oh, it'll be a thriller, I reckon. So, yeah, I'll see you guys there. See you there. This is a massive contest. This is a top 4 shape shifter, this one. I think it could go 50-50. Could go either way, of course. Just like any game can in Evo. You can lose, you can beat the best team and lose to the worst. It is insane. Is Evo, but, oh man, look, I think there's been people that have been waiting for this for a long time. Me, myself, I love playing against West Coast because it's always going to be a great clash. Right in the middle of the day, this one. We are in for a brilliant game of footy. There go the boys. Here we go. The Crows and the Eagles from Optus Staduim. The rivalry is another chapter, and here it goes. And straight away to Kennedy. Couldn't be the first, could it? And Jordan Butts is blocked. And it goes through by Oscar Allen. It's got a clean look at things. Now to Crouch. And the Crows, after all of that, 4 behinds, they finally have their first. Jason Horne-Francis goes long. And the Crows have 2 in a row. Fantastic. Now the effort is getting reward. Line with the overlap, but it's not going to work. And now the Eagles, through Liam Duggan, get their second. They haven't been inside 50 a lot, but they make that one count. Francis, not the best either. And it's quarter time after a high intensity game. And Eagles 2-2-14, Crows 2-5-17. We went inside 50 13 times to West Coast 8. We should be cashing in way more than what we are. Ben Keys 5 touches, Jason Horne 4 touches have really led this game. Todd Marshall, I don't know, maybe was it the wrong choice bringing him back in. We'll have to wait and see as this game goes on. Scrappy first quarter. Here we go for the second quarter. Crows, Eagles. So here we go. Liam Ryan to put West Coast back in front. That looks pretty good. And it goes straight through the middle. 20 plays 17. Nui, you can have a chance here on goal. The Crows, if they can get through this, which now they can. Now to Josh Shelley, who just has a bit of an open paddock ahead. Rosie now. And this has to be a goal. And here's to Jimmy Rowe and the Crows. Brilliant team play to put themselves back in front. They got through the West Coast wall, and now they're in front by a point. Up a bit of a voidy gap. And now to O'Brien, who can run and carry and bomb the ball to De Koning. Think about this is just not to overkick it. Jimmy Rowe was on the lead. Now to Fogarty. Now to Crouch. Oh, brilliant. Team play. Number 2 by the Crows. Nick Dacos. Have a look at that. Ben Keys. Unbelievable stuff. He just run through and kicks a goal. The advantage is taken there. Brilliant. Jamie Cripps, 35 out. This shouldn't trouble him, and it doesn't. And the Eagles get the goal they desperately needed to bring the margin back to 7 points. And that's half-time as well. So, interesting things going on here. 7-point leaders to the Crows in a very interesting quarter. The Crows, they just started to get the better of West Coast in that quarter. Especially some of the likes of Keys, Marshall and Rochelle really combined well. Crouch was really good as well. McGovern, Petreski, Seaton and Witherden. All West Coast defenders have got lots of the ball, which is saying something. 15-21 inside 50s, showing that we are having way more of the ball in our forward half. More than West Coast. West Coast have won, no hit-outs at all either, which is a concern. Good quarter for the Crows. 3 goals naught that quarter to West Coast, 2 goals 2, so it's still a very even game, this one. Here we go for the second half, third quarter from Optus Stadium, as this rivalry continues. So now Josh Rochelle. This is his butter and bread. The banana, he knows how to use it, Josh Rochelle. Did a ripping banana a couple of rounds ago at this ground versus Fremantle, and does another one now versus West Coast. Out the middle, straight to Todd Marshall for 2 in a row. The Crows are going crazy. Crazy Crows here at Optus. 2 in a row. Marshall finally gets the goal he's deserved. He's worked hard. Instead, West Coast, all players have been thinking that they're going to get it away. Finally, Langdon does get it away. And he gets the goal West Coast desperately needed to answer. Rosie has to go and get it. Now in the pocket, Nick Dacos has a bounce, straightens up, and kicks a brilliant goal. Nick Dacos, this kid keeps on rising. Keep that ball in. Sloan, oh, have a look at that. And the Crows are going crazy at Optus. We are banging on the pain now. And the Crows getting a clear way ahead in this one. Braden Cook to Marshall, and it goes through the middle. 32-point leaders of the Crows, having a day out right now. Fogarty, Connor Rosie now, can he get this ball forward? This should be a Fogarty goal, and it is. And the Crows are piling it on now, and they are turning this rivalry into a smashing. If Natanui, do they finally get one against the Green? They do. Back to a 32-point game. Oh. O'Brien now to Rosie, now to Fogarty for another. The Crows are going crazy, as I've already said. Fogarty piles on another one. Oh, that is a horrible kick. Straight down the throat of De Koning. Tom De Koning hasn't had his greatest of days just yet. 50-metre kick, that's online. We lead by 45. In a day where everything's gone right for the Crows. Up to the challenge, and now in the pocket, and that is going through by Cameron. A little bit of a brilliant light on a bad day for the Eagles. McGovern, Marshall to Rosie, fantastic. Marshall laid the body work, Connor Rosie now, and he is having a brilliant career, and it's only at the start for Connor Rosie. Fantastic moment. It's Duday, so well done there by Tom Duday, who wants to go to Jason Horn-Francis, who goes short to Josh Dacos. Hasn't had the biggest of days just yet, has Josh. And now an option opens up over the top, which is Matt Crouch. Now Matt Crouch just going to go in long to the top of the square. Jimmy Rowe, such a superstar of the club here. Jimmy Rowe, of course, the gold medalist from last year, trying to go back-to-back for himself. And, well, that is his second for today. Langdon, what's he got? From the tough angle. And he puts it right through the middle to Zach Langdon. Elliot Yeo to make it 2 in a row for West Coast. And now it is a 40-point game for the Eagles. And the siren sounds for three-quarter time to save the Crows, but they're still up by 40 points, and you really don't think there can be much of a choke from here. The Eagles actually, believe it or not, got 5 goals. Meanwhile, the Crows got 10. We're on a roll. Marshall, Keys, Shelley, some of the big ball getters. Crouch, Marshall, Fogarty, some of the big goal scorers. So here we go for the final quarter between the Crows and the Eagles at Optus. Here we go. The final quarter is the Crows by 40. Here. Zach Langdon now to kick a goal for the West Coast Eagles. Squeezes it through. So Riley O'Brien makes it a 41-point game right now. It's Crows by 41 in the last quarter. And they're having a good one. As West Coast have a lot. And now Jordan Dawson can just send this ball inside 50. Does he have a leader? Oh, De Koning goals! And now that'll definitely ensure the Crows will win. De Koning has 2, and the Crows have done enough. The Jamie Cripps, West Coast had a tough day at the office to reduce the margin back to 41 points. Yep, done enough. There have West Coast. Middle, O'Brien, now to Cook. Now to Rosie for another. Oh, it's fun time for the Crows in the West. It's goal for goal right now, back out to 47 points. Look here. They can have a chance, have a great chance. Cripps gets another in a really goal-for-goal contest. That's Cripps' third. Jelly, Cook. Now for Marshall, it's been his day. Recalled into the side and making a massive impact. Todd Marshall, 10 touches, 3 goals. Superb. Tom De Koning. And he'll squeeze it home there with Tom De Koning. Nicely done. Thinking about the snap. opted against it. That's De Koning's third. What happens? The ball will spill out for Jimmy Rowe, and he will kick another goal to pile on even more for West Coast. The lights probably won't end up going on, which they won't. It's twilight. The Crows are about to get another, but it is a massive win today. West Coast 12-5, 77 to Adelaide 21-9, 135. I think that's our biggest, that is our biggest score of the year. We've piled on 130 against Collingwood, but we do it 135 versus West Coast. And good game in the first half. But that third quarter is where we got going, and then in the last we kicked 6 more goals to West Coast 3. So that is a massive win in the end. It'd be what, 58 points in the end is what we win by. That is unbelievable stuff. 58 points, that is a big win, built off the back of one of the best third quarters you will ever see. But the rivalry is another chapter, and that chapter's all written, and it went just like this. We smashed West Coast in the inside 50s as well. 10 touches for Marshall, 10 for Jason Hall-Francis, 9 for Keys, 3 goals for Marshall, Rowe, De Koning. Bonus Flames votes today, going to go to Riley O'Brien. I thought he did a good job, too did Riley O'Brien. He kept Nitnat, which is one of the best rucks in the game, so just 4 hit-outs, which is pretty good as well. So there's going to be lots of votes going out today. 3 votes today. Hasn't been in the side a lot, got recalled today, did some brilliant things. Todd Marshall. And Jason Hall-Francis, 3 votes. 2 votes today, going to go to Matt Crouch. And 1 vote today, Riley O'Brien. And Riley O'Brien will also get 1 Flames votes to go with that too. So that is a very good list of names there. Marshall, Horn-Francis, Crouch, O'Brien. Some brilliant names. And De Koning and Rowe were also very impressive with 3 goals each too. Fogarty, how many goals did he end up getting? Let's see, right, scoring goals, have a look. 3 goals for De Koning, Marshall, Rowe, 2 for Crouch, Fogarty and Rosie, 1 for Dacos, Horn-Francis, Keys, O'Brien, Rochelle and Sloan. It was a brilliant day for a lot of our lads. Big win in the end. We end up smashing West Coast to take another rivalry, well, to take another chapter of this epic rivalry which we have formed with West Coast. But that time, I think that's a rivalry first, that we've been able to smash West Coast just like that, because we've really had some very close games. We thought once we were going to smash them, but we ended up choking. But next up is the Dogs back at home at the Adelaide Oval, and things have really gotten very interesting at the top. The Eagles are 5-1 with a percentage of 100, and we are 4-1 with a percentage of 131 after that massive win. We really sent the Eagles, we said, nah, you're not going to have a nice win. We're going to ruin the party for West Coast after having a really impressive last few weeks. Have the West Coast Eagles. They've had some close games though, have West Coast. And now they're going to be playing the Western Bulldogs. Where are they on the ladder now, the Western Bulldogs? They are 6th. So it's another big matchup here for the Crows to play the Western Bulldogs. Back here at the Adelaide Oval though, should be a cracking contest. We know the Dogs are a good side, can't take them for granted. So now the emails, the standout forms are O'Brien, Jason Horn-Francis and Matt Crouch. Kane Farrell a chance. I mean, we do have open spots, but I feel like after a win like that, we can potentially just go unchanged for next week. And Bonds and Pelly's in red hot form, but I really think that we can just go unchanged. I really don't think that it's necessary to make a lot of moves right now. If we go ahead, have a little look at the team management thing. This is the team: Rosie, King, Rochelle, Horn-Francis, Fogarty, Marshall, O'Brien, Sloan, Crouch, Dacos, Keys, Dawson, Laird, Smith, Thuday, Miller, a Butts season that ended up beating the Eagles along with Rowe, De Koning, Dacos and Cook. I think King is just going to have more time in the reserves. I think Farrell will not get his chance next week because you've just won by this much. What are you going to do? You're going to change the team and take the chance of losing, or you're going to keep the team and have a better chance of winning? That's exactly what I want to do. 75.76 win percentage. But West Coast, they did get back up rocking and rolling again after we did take them down. But you can see that there's the full ladder. Here's how things are going so far. And look, we are in second spot, but if we do get the win, we will go into first spot. So that is exciting. I don't really think there's anything else that we need to do. I think that we can go ahead and have a little look at some stat leaders as to who's leading the Coleman medal as well right now, the Coleman medal race. Elliot, Kerno, 14 goals, Franklin 13, 12, Rayner, Mitch McGovern, as well as Tom Lynch, Will Hayward, Brendan Cox. Where's our Jimmy Rowe is on there with 10, so he is playing well and he is wanting to go back to back with the Coleman for sure. So let's see how we're tracking. Jimmy Rowe 10, 9 Fogarty, 8 Rosie to Koning, 7 Rochelle. Those are some of our best scorers behinds wise. 6 for Rowe, 5 for Rosie. Goal assist, 6 for Rosie. 6 for Rosie, Fogarty and Keys. 5 for Rowan Crouch, also sharing the ball around as well. I don't really think there's anything else that's necessary to do, despite when will we meet West Coast again? I'd be thinking, when will that be? Or do we even meet them again, perhaps? Richmond, Kilda, West Coast. Round 18. So, round 18 is a big round if we do get that far in the season. Not sure about how far we will potentially get. But round 6, next round, before Friday night footy returns. Friday night versus GWS round 7. Round 8 versus Melbourne. And then round 9 is the showdown. So there's a big, massive next couple of weeks coming up on the channel based on the Coach career mode. There's some massive games. You get some really good sides as well coming up. The Dogs are 6th, Port Adelaide are 11th, the Giants are 14th, and Melbourne are 9th. So this is going to be interesting the next couple of weeks. We're going to be playing against some teams that are down low on the ladder. But again, look, we're early in. The competition is so tight. You can still have teams like Hawthorn and St Kilda making the finals and they're 1 and 5. Or teams like Gold Coast in 15th, 2 and 3, and that goes all the way up to 11th. So look, the season's still so early right now that things can change. Up the top it's so even. All the way down to 10th is 3 and 2, and then if we lose next week, then that opens up everything. So there's it's a big competition and it's so tight. Of course, so between this round 6 to 10 period is where we'll be seeing teams start to jump up, whether that be West Coast, whether that be us, whether that be Sydney, whether that be Collingwood, or Fremantle, Western Bulldogs, Carlton, North Melbourne, Brisbane, Melbourne. There's many teams that can jump up. So we've just got to make sure that we can at least win probably at least 2 of our next 4 to really start getting a bit of a gap on the rest of the competition, because don't worry, that gap will be soon and it's going to be a long process to get there, but next few weeks is going to be absolutely critical. There we go. That's going to wrap up this episode though. Brilliant win by the Crows. We smashed West Coast. We dealt damage. We did a very good job in the end. That's how the rest of the round played out. If you want to go ahead and see that, oh my goodness, 157 to 76, 27 to 52. But yeah, big win. 77 to 135 is how the game plays out. Another epic chapter of this epic rivalry. Round 9 we meet Port in the showdown, which is another rivalry. Next week we meet the Dogs at home. Thank you guys, it was smart for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so then you guys will never miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys, it was smart for watching. Bye everyone, Flaming Footy out.